Our next guest is one of the most genuinely kind and loving human beings I have ever met. Don't you just know when you hug somebody and they really mean it? Chris is that guy. He has a heart as big as the universe and a focus on serving mankind, which is a incredibly powerful combination. So, not surprisingly, he has devoted his professional life and a good bit of his personal time to developing a company that not only produces some of the best quality products we've seen, but also partners with and donates to organizations on national and local levels who are doing great things to support military, veteran, firefighter, and law enforcement groups. The support that they raise is sent to the causes that the first responder support groups specify, so it is a win-win for everybody. Here to speak to us today about the gut microbiome and its deep influence on our health, please welcome for me, Chris Capozzoli. Healthy after all these hugs. So here is a clicker.
That's right.
Forward and back, and there's your monitor right there.
Right on.
All right.
All right, everybody. Chris Capozzoli. So great to meet you all. Red light. I'm up. Can you hear me? Is that better? One. Hey, look at that. All right, we'll try that again. Chris Capozzoli, guys, how exciting was this morning, right? How's that information that we're all getting? What I love about the Thermography Center here is that they bring the best of the best together, right? If you're on, somebody here on a personal health journey or for somebody else, right, you're in the right place, right? You could be anywhere today. There are people watching football games. There are people all over this planet not doing what you're doing today, which is looking after your number one wealth, which is your health, right? I deal with people all over the world. I've seen billionaires, multiple billionaires, and guess what? They can't buy their health back. All of that is for naught. It's their health that they're really concerned about. I've seen them struggle, and I talk to CEO groups all the time. They're not paying attention to their health. They've got these giant bank accounts. By the time they retire, they're gone in 2 years, right? They've lost their purpose in life. My purpose in life for you, and I challenge you guys to do that, is to make up your own health purpose in life, right? People say to me every day, why do you do what you do? For your own health. Number one reason, I want to be at my great-great-granddaughter's wedding. I'm going to ride up on my motorcycle and go, who wants to dance? Right? I don't want to be 125 years old with a walker. I want to be 140 years old on my motorcycle, right? Seriously, it's now called health span, the people that are in this space. And I get to meet with some of the world's greatest experts on not just lifespan. Nobody wants to live all these years and not be healthy. We want to be able to do, what do you love to do on a daily basis? What's the things that you love to do? Yes?
Oh, I like to work out.
Right, she wants to work out. Do you want to work out when you're 100?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, right? I love to surf. I want to be surfing at 100, right? What's your number one thing you like to do for yourself? Kayaking, right? Do you want to kayak at 100? Listening to all these amazing experts and seeing the information, and information is key to being able to kayak at 100, to work out at 100, to surf at 100, to ride up at your great-granddaughter's wedding. So I challenge you today. I'm going to take 15 seconds, just be quiet. I want you to think of your own personal statement for yourself. If I were to live past 100, what do I want my body to look like? What do I want my mind to be like? And what do I want my life to be like? take that vision with you, take the information you're getting today, go live that life, okay? Now we're gonna talk a little bit about what I just talked about. Our health is really our true wealth, right? Most people in the United States today, and I'll make sure I'll get you guys all these slides, but if you look at some of the things that are on there, the standard American diet, I love acronyms, it's called SAD, right? Most people today are too tired to play with their kids, their grandkids. They're too tired to even do their jobs, right? Why? Because of what's happening in their body, the things that have happened to them as they went through life, right? I'm gonna back out of that for a second. And I wanna go back to, I like stories, slides you get, but I wanna give you a little personal journey, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in this audience that actually lived the same type of thing. I was in the military. I was a nuclear weapons specialist. I had radiation poisoning. I had toxicity. I was an outdoorsman. I got Lyme disease. And I don't want people to wait until a crisis to make this change. That's why I want to back into this story. I want you to think about the things that happen in your life. It doesn't have to be a triggering event for a health event. It can be a decision, right? I couldn't move. I was 247 pounds. If I dropped a pencil, it was a donation. I was ridiculously sick, right? There was no way I was going down to pick something up and get back up. It was impossible with the amount of inflammation and destruction in my body. The VA just wanted to give me more pills. The regular doctor said, you're sick, fat, and tired. Guess what? Welcome to 50. Well, I'm 61. I'm no longer sick, fat, and tired because I made a decision, which we typically do for other people, because my best friend had Crohn's disease and was dying. And I said, okay, this is unacceptable. I'm sick, fat, and tired, and you can't die. You get that one person in your life. So went on a journey, and which is what everybody's doing here, which I love. I love being around similar people. I went on a journey to find the right things to help me. Researched radiation poisoning, toxicity, Lyme disease, found an amazing scientist that had a product from aloe vera that we'll talk about, Ace Mannin, that completely rehabbed my body. My best friend, who the Mayo Clinic told him he was done in a year, 20 medications a day, Remicade infusions. He was done. They said, get your affairs in order. Well, that was 8 years ago. He's still thriving. So I thought, man, I'm already taking care of veterans. How can I do this? I wanted to put it into a capsule. Anybody like the coffee? Try the RPG coffee, right? See lots of hands going up. That was designed because I didn't even know this was a thing called pill aversion. I had it, and so did all my veterans and first responders. So we ended up saying, okay, we're sitting around drinking coffee, saying, all right, how do we get this into soldiers? How do we get this into first responders? So we infused it into the coffee so that they could actually take it. But as I go through this journey, I want you to think about your health journey, the investigations you're doing today. But I can tell you, when you start taking care of the body will take care of you. All right, I'm gonna back into this. So if you look up here and a lot of these things are resonating with you, you're not alone. That is the standard American human today, and I travel this world, we've brought all of our beliefs into the rest of the world, and this is how people are today. They're exhausted, right? And that bottom statement is the one, second to the bottom, accepting a lower quality of life has become the normal. I want us to break that paradigm. There was a beautiful lady at lunch said to me, what do you do? I said, well, I'm a biohacking expert and I got challenged. And I love when people challenge me. Explain that to me. We had a little back and forth. I said, nope, I am redefining that. I am a human optimization specialist. Every human is different. We want to optimize our body. We cannot accept a lower quality of life has been normal. Okay, it's important. It's important for us to just the thermostat that has been set in not only in this country but all over the world, that this is okay to live here when this is there, is unacceptable. And when we start talking about nutrition, I love all the supplements, I love everything that we're doing, but today we want to talk about the gut microbiome, because it doesn't matter what you consume, it really matters what you absorb, right? Does everybody know gut microbiome, how important that is today? We're seeing more and more research. So as we talk about the gut microbiome, that boldened, it's not what you consume matters, it's what your body absorbs. Think about that. All the things that go in that just pass through our body, we want to absolutely enable the body to get the nutrients from the food, from the supplements that we take, and that is really dedicated to healing our gut microbiome and optimizing, right? So as we look at what all of the bacteria, somebody else was talking about it today as well, we're more bacterial cells than we are human cells. I love the fact that when you go in every human, measure the weight of their brain and the weight of the bacteria in their body, and it's almost identical. Almost exactly identical, because they're giving us signals to our brain from our gut, from our blood. They are actually telling our body what to do. We need to take care of that. It's somebody was talking about gardening. It's like that garden. If we don't keep that garden clean, if we don't pull the weeds, what happens? The weeds take over. So our job as humans is to take care of that, I call them our symbiotic relationship with our bacteria. We need to support them because they're supporting all the functions in our body. When we don't, this is what we get, right? And I see this, I speak to groups all the time. And usually in a small, intimate group, you'll ask people, put their hand up, are you suffering from all of these different things? It's 9 out of 10 people, and the other person just doesn't want to admit it, right? It's crazy, right? Look at all the different inflammation factors that come from a gut microbiome that is unbalanced. It is so important what we put in that we can actually process the foods, the different things that we put in our body. It was so much, I had to go on to 2 slides. Think about that, right? That's how many, and I didn't even cover everything, right? It influences, the gut microbiome influences everything in our body, good or bad, right? You see people that are addicted to sugar. Why? Their gut microbiome's out, right? That bacteria is sending signals to our brain. We're now seeing, they're calling Alzheimer's diabetes 3, right? When the gut microbiome's out, cognitive function is gone. With my soldiers, when we heal the gut microbiome, we call it healing the man or the woman, right? Their cognitive functions change. This is, of all the things you can do, forgetting RPG products, everything that you do in your life, healing that gut microbiome, I promise you, will be one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. As we're talking the second brain, again, the signals coming from that bacteria are literally sending brain. People say to me, I can't get off this or that or carbs or sugar or whatever it is. It's not your fault. People say, I just can't break it. When we heal the gut microbiome, has anybody ever gone through this where they heal their gut and all of a sudden sugar is not attractive to them anymore, right? Yep, it makes a huge difference. All those things that we think we're actually addicted to, it's not. It's our body, our gut microbiome, that is telling us what to eat, putting those signals in our brain, right? And if we look at everything that's happening, again, in the neurotransmitters, right, it's 95% of the body's serotonin. We were talking about, cognitive issues and the things that are going on today. When we heal the gut, even with kids with autism, right, adults that are having ADD issues, almost 95% of that goes away just healing the gut microbiome, right? Today, we were talking about how does that tie to breast health? Well, it ties to all health, but specifically to breast health. If we look at the complete circle, you can see how it's a beautiful illustration that gut-breast axis is so key. When we have that leaky gut, using the standard American diet, or whatever we're doing to permeate that gut, that leaking will actually affect the breast microbiome. When we balance the gut microbiome, it also balances our hormone levels, right? I deal with a lot of ladies in premenopause and postmenopause. Just healing the gut microbiome, so many of those things go away. Why? Because that's where the estrogen, and somebody talked about that this morning, it was great to hear, right? The estrobiome, that is an absolute subset of the microbiome that's managing and monitoring and adapting our estrogens, and our testosterone level is also produced there, right? Michael will talk a little bit later about testosterone, how important that is, not only in males, but in females as well. If we can balance the endocrine system, the mood issues, all the other things that are going on in our body, the healing of the body just starts to come so much further around. As we're healing the gut microbiome, we're going to start talking a little bit about what RPG Aloe does. One of the things it does is heal the gut microbiome. The RPG Aloe is literally one molecule from from aloe vera, called acemannan. That one molecule, when consumed, actually recreates the sugar called mannose that a pregnant woman makes when she gets pregnant, and it's also produced in her breast milk. There are receptors in our gut, there's receptors on all of our organs looking for this mannose sugar. When we consume it, heals the gut microbiome, it helps to balance our endocrine system, and we're gonna talk next about stem cells. Imagine your body running around every day with up to 300% more of your own stem cells, right? Everybody here knows stem cells. We see people getting injected with stem cells all the time. The long term we're seeing on a little bit of that is the injection of someone else's stem cells is not what we're looking for. There's a sub-study that I'm looking at right now that people are starting to have issues. The body is starting to reject those over time. They may have an initial healing, but if it's someone else's stem cells, it's not the same. So what we're doing is looking at what the stem cells actually are in our own body, right? It's repair and replace. If you would have said to me 8 years ago that I could stand on the stage with you guys and kind of bend down like this and not need somebody to get me back up, be impossible. I was riddled with inflammation. My knees were shot out from jumping out of helicopters and all the things that we did in the military, but it was the stem cells, the healing of the gut microbiome, allowing my body to heal itself, to be able to do that and be able to stand up. That's what I want for everybody. Is it gonna feel great to work out when you can actually do that and not be sore, right? All the damage that we see the body doing, stem cells are what's gonna be able to take care of that, right? We have stem cells in our body, but as we talked about in the beginning, as we're aging, the belief window is that our stem cells are reducing because we don't need them, right? Their little babies have tons of stem cells because they're growing into a human. We've never lost the ability to do that. Our body is very efficient. It just says, I don't need to do that anymore. So if we can modulate that and turn on the body's ability to create those stem cells, Michael's gonna talk a little bit more about how the body turns on for testosterone, those kind of things. That is the optimization of the human body. Being able to take these stem cells from our body, increase the production. The stem cells can become anything. They become a neuron in the brain. They can become parts of the knee that needed to be done. And I didn't have to go get shots to that. And I've witnessed this over and over and over with people that were given no hope. This is an amazing machine that we've been giving, right? My dad's last day on this planet, he looked at me, he gave me a big kiss. He's the sweetest human being. I wish everybody in this room could have met him. The nicest guy I ever met. And he kissed me on the face. He said, I'm so happy what you're doing. He was 83 and a half years old. And it's not a bad story, I promise. He said, my mind is here, my body has betrayed me. And then he quantified it. He said, I'm so glad you're doing because I betrayed my body. That stuck with me. I don't want anybody to have to lose their dad earlier than they should, and I don't want anybody to leave this planet before they should, right? I want them to be here healthy. Here's a guy, mind was there, his body gave up on him, but he took better care of his vehicles than he ever did his body, okay? RPG Aloe, we'll go back to it again. We're gonna heal the lining of the gut microbiome. We already talked about that permeation of the gut, what happens. Enhancing the immune system. Those stem cells are going to come in, see damage, repair, replace, repair, replace, repair, replace. Guys, that's called anti-aging, right? The people that are just stuck, and that's why I wanted you to start this journey. I truly believe this in my heart, what you believe you're going to look like at 85, 105, 125, it's going to be true, right? This thing here is one of the greatest medicines that we have, right? We're going to we get older because we believe we're going to. There is no scientific reason for this body to age. We give it what it needs, we take care of it, and it will absolutely take care of us. On the bottom, again, tying to breast health, the RPG Aloe turns on the macrophage, right? And I heard somebody talking about that earlier. Through the pandemic, our company grew like crazy because of what's on the screen. We were healing the gut microbiome. We were turning on the macrophage. The body was seeing things that it had never seen before, and the macrophage was doing what it needed to. So it was incredible to watch the human body see something it hadn't seen before, be able to be activated, and be able to get rid of it out of the body. This part I absolutely love. What most of us don't understand, and it's become very apparent, it's the inflammation that we don't feel that's getting us, right? Everybody feels if they bang their arm, right? And they've got a bruise, and body's doing what it's supposed to do. That low level of inflammation in our body is what's doing us in. That's the thing that's taking us out, right? Our dentist was here, right? Dr. Tony, talking about, the mouth microbiome. Every dis-ease that we can look back to stems from inflammation. If we can reduce the low level of inflammation every day, we can put the body back into a stasis where it wants and reduce the dis-ease of the body, right? And we start looking at the RPG Aloe enhances the stem cell, improves the gut microbiome, immune system modulator, very important to modulate the immune system, modulates the endocrine system, and reduction in inflammation. So if I can leave you with some of the most important things today, number one, believe in yourself, believe in this body that we've been given. If we give the body what it needs, it's going to take care of you. Number two, look at that vision that you have for yourself, right? If you really drive into your heart what you want to look like, what that mental capacity, and I'm glad you're coming up next, because Trey, I've done some great work. Just talking with Trey will change your whole physiology. Knowing that you can balance your energy, right? What you're focusing on, you're going to get. So I'm focusing on my great-granddaughter's wedding, right? Great-great-granddaughter's wedding. Nobody wants to work out, really. Some do. Nobody wants to eat all the good foods, but when there's something bigger in front of you, that goal, I want you to put that in front of you. You'll do the things, right? I don't want to go jump in a cold plunge, but I do it, right? It is goal-driven, something bigger than yourself, okay? RPG products, I can be a quick run-through. Dr. Mike has all the products at the facility, whatever you need there. If you want more information, I'm not going to go deep into everything, but that QR code will take you there. Everybody's going to get the slide as well. So I'm going to go from left to right. The immune defense has vitamin C, D, zinc, turmeric, and our RPG Aloe. One of the things I didn't talk about on the slide is the RPG Aloe makes things more bioavailable. So you don't need tons of a vitamin C or a vitamin D. But we were also talking about synthetics. It took us 18 months to create that product because everything is plant-based. The vitamin C is from a jungle acerola fruit. The vitamin D we get from mushrooms exposed to UV light. The zinc we feed to yeast and then extract it. We've got the RPG Aloe in there to make everything more bioavailable. And then we've got some of the greatest turmeric on the planet, and everybody knows what turmeric does. The RPG coffee, again, was designed because, like myself, most of the soldiers, most of the first responders didn't want a capsule. So it's high mountain, shade grown, hand picked, the entire bean microground. Adding the aloe not only makes it more bioavailable, but it made it completely water soluble. So we made a low acid, immune boosting coffee for our soldiers, for our first responders. They could put in a cold water bottle, shake up. It can taste just like cold brew because it's the whole bean. Then we go over to the RPG Aloe. That is the pure RPG Aloe. That is the ACE Mannin supplement, and we just talked about all the amazing things that that does. We've got the silver products, which help reduce viruses. I know Dr. Mike has a bunch of silver products in his office as well, so I would talk to them about that. And then our Kind Coffee product. The Kind Coffee product is the RPG coffee, but we've added lion's mane. And we love helping our veterans, our first responders. But we got contacted from kindness.org. Totally resonated with us. Kindness.org is putting programs together to teach children how to be kind to each other, how to teach adults how to be kind to each other. So all of our proceeds from that product go to the Kind Coffee Project, which is amazing. We're actually doing a project with them in the Middle East, in 13 nations in the Middle East, to teach children how to be kind to each other, to help change an entire nation's view of how they see each other. People are just fighting with their cousins. It's crazy. So guys, some of the greatest products on the planet, but again, I want to leave you with that vision. Take care of this body. It will take care of you. Your gut microbiome is everything that you need. And thank you for taking time out today. Thank you to all the speakers at the Thermography Center for allowing us to come, share a little bit, and I'll be here if anybody has any questions.